All right, we're going to be doing a quick review of factoring because this is going to help us with our rational functions that we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So this is just a good time to take a few minutes and go back through our factoring rules. Okay, so here's a few of our factoring patterns that we've been using. But if you remember, when we factor, just kind of the basic things that you're looking for. So the first thing you look for is that common monomial factor. So for example, in number 1, well, there's a 5x in both of those terms. So we would factor out the 5x, and we would have 2 plus x remaining. 2 plus x, that's a linear term, so there's nothing else we can factor there. Okay, number 2, there's no common monomial factor, so we don't need to do step 1. So second step is it a pattern that we recognize? If so, we're going to apply that pattern. If not, we're going to go to the next step. Okay, so this is not one of the patterns. So then the next thing is it 3 terms or is it 4 terms? Okay, if it's 3 terms, then you're going to think product sum table, and then if necessary, you might have to do with a box. Okay, if it's 4 terms, all right, then you're thinking just go directly to your box, see if you can get that factored. Okay, all right, so number 2, it's a trinomial. We're going to go product sum table. Excuse me, there's no common factor to take out, so my product sum, multiply to be a negative 48, add to be negative 2. So that's going to be an 8 and a 6. Your 8 is going to be negative, so x minus 8 and x plus 6. Okay, now number 3, so common monomial, no. Okay, is it a pattern? Yes, this is a cubic pattern. So if you go back up here to the box, it's going to be this third one that we're going to be using. Okay, now how do I know just by looking at that that's a cubic pattern? Well, my x is cubed, so of course that's my first clue. But think about 125. If you do a factor tree on 125, this is 25 times 5, and then that 25 is 5 times 5. So you can see the prime factorization, it would be 5 cubed. Okay, so that tells me this is a difference of cubes pattern. Okay, so I have to identify my A. So my A is the x, and my B is the 5. Okay, so now you are just following that pattern that's up above in the box. So a cubed minus b cubed, that's going to be a minus b. Well, for me, my a is x and my b is 5, so x minus 5. A squared, well, that would be x squared plus a times b. Well, a times b, x times 5, 5x, and then plus b squared. B is 5, so b squared, 25. Okay, and there is your difference of squares factored. Okay, let's go down. Okay, let's talk about 64, or sorry, number 4, 64x squared minus 9. This is a difference of squares pattern. So if you go back up, that's the first one I listed. A squared minus b squared is going to factor to a minus b times the quantity a plus b. Again, how do I recognize that this is that perfect square pattern? Okay, so think square roots. So square root of 64 is 8, and square root of 9 is 3. They're both perfect squares. Okay, so that fits the difference of squares. So this is going to be 8x minus 3 and 8x plus 3. Okay, so that's your difference of squares. Now, if you didn't recognize that right off, or you're not real confident using that pattern, you can always do a product sum table with a box. So we'll do one of those next. So if you look at number 6, it's a trinomial. So first thing, is there a common monomial factor? No. Okay, so next thing, product sum table. So on this one, product sum, we got to go 8 times the negative 3. So we need a negative 24 add to be the 10. This is going to go 12 and 2. The 2 will be negative. Now, because of this 8, because my leading coefficient is not a 1, I got to follow up my product sum table with a box. Okay, so I'm going to do a box. First term, 8x squared. Last term, negative 3. My two other terms are going to come from my product sum table. So this is going to be a 12x and a negative 2x. Okay, so look for your common monomials on each row and column. So we're going to do that. So I can take out a 4x out of this first row. Second row, they don't have anything in common, so you're taking out a 1. But remember, because this first term is negative, you're going to go a negative 1. First column, I'm going to go 2x. Second column, I'm going to go 3. Okay, so there's my factored version. 4x minus 1 times 2x plus 3. Okay, I think I've pretty much done an example of each of the different types. Now number 10 is 4 terms. I put factor by grouping, but which you can. Some students do like the factor by grouping. Most of you, though, like the box better. So 4 terms, put it in a box, 1 term for each square. Okay, I think that will wrap it up for today. So you all are finishing this worksheet, doing the ones that we did not talk about, doing them together, and I will see you tomorrow.